Hello friends, welcome to my channel, and from today we are going to start new series which is of Kubernetes, and it is the first video, and here we will learn about Kubernetes architecture. So before starting this video, I request you to please subscribe my channel and watch this video till last so that you can understand the architecture. So first we will learn about pod. In that Kubernetes, pod is the smallest object that you can create in Kubernetes, and we deploy our application in pod. Pod actually we can consider as a wrapper for container, and if we have more than one container, then it will share the same storage and network and resources. Here if you can see, it is the Kubernetes architecture, and this is the control plane. Here we are having API server, scheduler, control manager, etcd. We will learn all this in detail, and in this worker node we will have container runtime actually. So which in that case it is Docker, but it can be any other runtime as well. Container runtime, we are having kubelet and proxy. So we will learn from API server. What is the API server? Kube API server actually it is the main component of our master server, and whenever user request to Kube API server to access, so first it will authenticate that, and it will validate that request, and it will check whatever the permission is there for the particular user, and it is the primary management actually of that controller server. And API server only a component will interact with etcd. Now if we will learn about kube scheduler. Kube scheduler actually decide the right node for the pod. So because if in a node where the port to be scheduled, so it depends upon the how much RAM and how much CPU is there, so it will decide on which node that RAM and memory is there free. Accordingly it will schedule the particular pod and any node. So now we will learn about controller manager. Controller manager actually it is monitor the status of our uh, pod and our node as well. So it is the actually brain of our cluster. It manages our actual and desired state. So here you can see lots of controller are there. It is replication controller. So if you see about replication controller, it will check the status of pod, and if a pod is not in desired limit, it will try to create that pod. And here we can see deployment controller. It will check continuously status of the deployment container. If it is not available, then it will try to make them. So now we can see about etcd. So etcd actually we can say it is a database of our cluster, and it will manage our cluster information like how many pods are there and how many nodes are there in our cluster, and its pod, which pod is running, and whatever the IP of the respective pod is there. So it will manage all detail about it. So it has key value form. It manage in key value form, and if it is very reliable and secure. Now we can see about kubelet. Kubelet actually is a main component of our worker node, and it is responsible for all activity in the node, and it creates the pod and it monitor the node as well. So if our Kube API server request for creating our container, so first of all it will go to kubelet, and kubelet what it will do, kubelet whenever it receive the request, then it will check the respective Docker runtime, and it will create the pod, and it sends the request to respective uh, etcds and update the etcd. Etcd will be updated whenever this information is there. And last component is kube proxy, and it is responsible for communication between the pod. So that's all about this video, and if you like this video, please like this video and subscribe my channel. Thank you. Please do share and subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon. Thank you. Thanks a lot.